welcome back to my channel. So I was lucky enough to receive the newest launch of all the new ABH holiday collection, which I am super grateful for, so thank you ABH for sending that out to me. So today for this video I'm going to be using all of these new products from ABH to test them out and give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions on them and let you know if I think that they're worth purchasing for you guys. So if you're interested in seeing how some of the new ABH products work and how I got this look using them, then please keep watching. So first things first, we're going to play around with the new Prism palette by ABH. I'm super excited to play around with it. The packaging is absolutely stunning. It's a felt material with like these gold details on it, which is super pretty. That's what I love about ABH, is they're always doing something new and different, because some of their other palettes are still gorgeous, but they're a little bit more simple, and this was kind of out of the box for them. I love that they're always just changing it up and doing something new and innovative. So I haven't really played around much with the colors. I swatched them on my arm to kind of get a feel for what they look like, but I have not created any looks, so we're just going to kind of play around and see what I can come up with. So before we jump into the eyeshadow, I want you guys to know that my brows are obviously already filled in. I have a brow tutorial up on my channel, so if you're interested, I'll have it linked right here. And I also have laid down a base of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer on my eyes, and I just set that with some of my Airspun Loose Face Powder. So that's what I always do as a base for any of my eyeshadows, just so everything's cohesive and I can give them a true review and test on something that I would actually do every day. So I think I'm going to use the brush that the palette comes with. The first shade that I'm going to dip into is Unity. It's this pretty nudie light brown shade, and I'm just going to begin working that into my crease as a transition shade. So I can already tell that these shadows are blending very easily, very similar to Modern Renaissance, not like Subculture at all. They blend really easily and seamlessly, which is always a good sign. So I really want to try to use as many colors as I can, so I'm just going to kind of start piling them on, and hopefully the look ends up looking alright. So next I'm going to dip into the shade Saturn. It's this really pretty orangey toned shade, and I'm just going to take that on a Morphe M506 brush and begin working that into the crease. Super pigmented. And now the true test, I'm going to try to blend out the edges. It's blending pretty well. Not really having much trouble with these shadows. I'm just glad that these shadows are blending so smoothly, and we will not be having another Subculture situation. My Subculture palette was fine if you guys watched my video on it, but I can definitely see why some people were having trouble with it, so I'm glad that this is a little bit more user-friendly and easy to blend. So I'm really going to try to not do a cut crease today. I know a lot of you guys get mad at me because I always do cut creases, so I'm going to try to just stick to adding colors onto my lid and fighting the urge to cut my crease. The next color I'm going to pick up is the shade Lure. It's this really pretty cool toned brown shade. It kind of has almost a purpley tint to it. And I'm just going to blend that into where we put Saturn and kind of merge them together just to see if it'll deepen it up a little bit. As I said, I'm just trying to use as many colors as I can just to get the feel for the palette. So this shade Lure is so pretty for deepening up the outer corner but not getting it to be like too deep, like going in with a really dark brown or a black or something. It's really nice just to add a hint of dimension if you're someone who doesn't really like super dark colors on the eyes. And then I'm going to go back in with Saturn again and just kind of blow it out a little bit more. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Dimension. It's this really pretty purpley gray shimmery shade, and I'm just going to put that onto the lid, and I'm just using the other side of my Royal and Langnickel, probably mispronounced that, crease and smudge brush just on this little smudger side. I always get worried with shimmers that they're not actually going to come off of my brush and I'm going to have to use my finger or something, but this one actually comes off of the brush really nicely. I'm just going to keep this towards the inner half of my eyelid because I want to add a different color to the outer portion. And I'm just going to blend out the edges of that shadow into the other shadows so everything meshes well. It looks really purple in the pan. When it actually gets onto your eyes, it looks a little bit more silver, but you can still get the purpley tinge to the shadow, so it's really nice. It's kind of like a duochrome shade. So next I'm going to pick up the shade Osiris. It's this really pretty deep blue shade with some reflex in it. It's not super pigmented. You kind of have to keep building it up. It's not like instant pigmentation. I'm going to try to wet my brush and see if it works better that way. Yeah, the shade Osiris, you definitely have to wet your brush before using it. Otherwise, it doesn't really want to come onto your lid. So I'm just going to focus this in the outer corner. So next, on a Morphe MB19 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Obsidian. I think this is sort of like a dark bluish black shade. I'm just going to focus that on the outermost corner to add some depth. And then with my same Morphe M506 brush, I'm just going to blend that out. So for now, I think I'm done with the eyeshadow portion on just my upper lids. Of course, I'm going to add some to my inner corner and lower lash line when we get further on in the video. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It blended super nice, and the formula is very similar to Modern Renaissance, which I'm super excited about because I love the formula of Modern Renaissance. I'm going to go ahead quickly and show you my palette after I'm done using it to show you the amount of kick up that I got. So here's how my palette looks after using it for just the one look. As you can see, there's not a ton of fallout. There is a little bit of powder in some of the pans, as you can see, but nothing near how Subculture was when people were having issues with it. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you that so you guys are aware that there's not super bad kick up with this palette. It's pretty good and sturdy. So I just wanted to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you could see the fallout situation. It's not super bad at all. There's a little bit more on the outer corners where we added most of the deeper shadow, but it's really not bad at all, so pretty happy with that. Just wanted to let you guys know that the fallout is not bad at all with this palette. So now I'm just going to go ahead and coat my lashes with my Tarte Gifted mascara. So I was sent some lashes by Iris Beauty, which I am super happy about, and they sent me this style that I really want to use today. They don't have a name on them, so I'll just have to write a name down below if I can find one to let you guys know what style I'm using, but I'm just going to go ahead and apply these with some of my Duo Lash Glue. So at this point, my camera did cut out when I was showing you guys my foundation and concealer application, but it's just the same stuff that I always use, so it's really nothing new. If you were interested in what I used, everything as always is linked down below. It's not really relevant for this video anyway, so I'm sorry it got cut out, but we're going to move on. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use some of my Airspun loose powder to set under my eyes in any areas that I might get oily throughout the day. And I'm just going to use a Morphe G37 brush for that. Of course, as always, I'm just going to bake my smile lines. So now I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the eyes. I'm going to take a Morphe E19 brush and dip into the shade Sphere. And I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight shade. That is really bright yellow. I'm glad that it's actually pigmented. It's such a different type of color, but I really like that it's different. And then I'm going to take the shade Lucid and I'm going to put that in the center of where we place Sphere just for an extra pop. I feel like this shade needs to be used with a wet brush, so I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush. And there we go. And then on the lower lash line, I'm going to pick up the shade Saturn on just the ABH brush and drag that along my lower lash line. And then on this super tiny brush from BH Cosmetics, I'm going to pick up the shade Parallel, which is just a deep chocolate brown. And I'm going to place that towards the outer corner and towards the rim of my lower lash line, just to deepen things up. And then just taking the ABH brush, I'm going to blend that out a little bit. And I don't usually do this, but I feel like it's necessary for this look, so I'm going to line my waterline with this Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen in the shade Matte Mulberry, just so that it further blends into that brown shade we laid down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and coat my lower lashes, and we should be done with the eyes. So this is the eye look that I came up with. It's super different. I really love the pop of yellow in the inner corner. I love the different shades that this palette gives you. There's so many endless options of looks you can do with this. I like that there's a good mix of warm tones and cool tones, which is always good. I think the formula is great. There's not a super big amount of kickback with this. The fallout's not bad at all. And all around, it's just a really great palette. It's not necessary if you're someone who isn't willing to play with shades like this. It is a little bit more for people who are more into playing around with their eyeshadow. So if you're more of a neutral type person, I mean, you could still buy it, but a lot of these shades would probably not get used by you, so you might be better off with Modern Renaissance. But if you are looking for some new shades to play around with, I would definitely recommend picking this up. The formula's great, and I really love the color range that they came out with. I'm just going to go ahead and pat in that extra powder. So next we're going to play around with the blush kits a little bit. They're super cute. I was thinking that when they first came out with it that they would be a similar size to the glow kits, so I just wanted to show you a size comparison. The blush kits are a little bit smaller, but you still get a decent amount of product in them. So in the gradient blush kit, they have more of deeper toned shades that are perfect for deep skin tones. So I kind of want to use that to contour and see how it works on my pale skin. So I'm just going to pick up my Real Techniques contour brush and I'm going to attempt to contour with this shade. Okay, so it's definitely not as deep as I thought it was going to be. It's actually a really nice gray toned contour, so I'm super happy with that. I was afraid it would be like too pigmented to the point where it would just look like I have a big streak on my face. It doesn't give you too much product, so you can definitely build it up. It's a really nice contour shade. And I feel like many skin tones could build it up and make it work for them. It blends out super easily. I'm going to take a little bit on this Morphe M505 brush to contour my nose. So I would have to say the blush kit formula really reminds you of the contour kit powder formula. They're very easy to blend out, very pigmented and buildable. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is mainly more contour shades for me since I am so fair, but definitely if you have deeper skin tones, I could definitely see you really working with some of these blushy tones. I think that they would look great. So definitely check this out if you're someone with deeper skin tones, or maybe you just want a couple more contour shades. So out of the Radiant kit, I'm going to mix the shades. No, you know what? I think I'm just going to pick up the shade Coastline, and I'm going to add that to my cheeks for some color. So they're really pigmented. We can work with this. I literally tapped in like 2 times and it picked up a little more than I would have wanted, but that's okay. We can work with it. Yeah, these have a lot of pigment. You literally just have to dip in once and you'll have like full pigment on your brush, which is something that I noticed with their blush trios also. They're very pigmented, so just keep that in mind and use a light hand with these. I'm gonna try to blend that out. So the blush kit is very pigmented. I think that there's a lot of shades in here to mess around and play around with. There's some pinky shades, there's more peachy shades to play around with. So I think that there's definitely something in here for everyone. So if you're looking for some new blushes, definitely check out either one of these blush kits. I think they're super cute and it's just nice to always have new blushes. So now we're going to get into the highlights. Now they did send me the Sugar Glow Kit. I think I'm going to mix the shade Marshmallow and Starburst, and I'm just going to add those onto my cheekbones and any other areas that I want to highlight. And I'm going to use my Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush to apply that. That's a highlight. Wow. I did not have to build it up like at all. It was just instant pigment. I'm someone who likes a super popping highlight, so I'm pretty happy with the pigmentation of this. They kind of give you more of a dewy look. There's not a lot of glitter in them. I don't think there's actually any glitter in them. It's more of just like a sheen on your skin, which I really like for highlights. I don't mind a glitter highlight, but it's nice to have one that kind of gives you that wet, dewy look instead. I love that Marshmallow works so well on my fair skin. I was a little worried because it looks a little bit more golden. I'm more drawn to the white highlighter shades, and this has a little tinge of yellowish gold to it when you look up close, but it comes off really gorgeous on fair skin. And I can see that Gumdrop and Butterscotch are really great for maybe deeper skin tones or someone with a little bit more of a tan. So I think it's really nice that they added a lot of shade options for everyone. The formula is very similar to the other glow kits that have just the 4. They have the Gleam one and the That Glow one, I believe, but the ones with the 4 colors in them, this one's very similar to that formula. So if you are happy with that formula, you'll definitely like the formula of this glow kit. I just cannot get over how pretty this glow is. So the final thing to decide is the lip shade. They sent me their minis as well as the 3 new shades that they released. I don't know if they're all brand new shades, but I'm not sure which one to use. But can we just talk about how cute the minis are? I just love how little they are compared to the big ones. It's so cute, and they're really good for traveling. Like if you wanted to just throw one in your purse real quick, it would not take up much space at all. So for this look, I think I've decided on just using the shade Roxanne. This is a new shade for them, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it to my lips. It's a really pretty cool toned brown, and it has a tinge of pink in it as well. I think it'll work really well with the makeup look. So I think that is it for this look. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching and hearing my first impressions of all of the new ABH products. I think that they came out with a really good range of new stuff, and I think that there's something in this launch for everybody. I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing my honest thoughts and opinions on these new products. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!